Hey everybody, I'm Ruth Ann.
I'm Chris.
And we all Geek Chic Promotions. Welcome back for Weekend Rage or Nerd Rage.
Yay.
Yay! We're here back at my place. We haven't done it at my place in a while.
No, it's true. Usually we're at mine.
So we're back, ready for action. We're a little late because I was making margaritas. They're gonna be so lemony because we got
Lemon margaritas.
Lemon
guys.
margaritas. So clinkies. Cheers to you.
Fresh lemons too. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yes. Oh, and the tequila is
Casamigos.
Casamigos. Let me grab the bottle.
George Clooney.
Yeah, it's George Clooney's.
Oh, and he's partners with what's her face's
What's her face?
husband?
I can't remember.
I think his name is Randy Gerber. It's no wait.
Yeah, so if you guys,
true.
how
model.
I found out, because I've owned this forever, so this I just killed it for our margaritas today, but I didn't realize that this was George Clooney's tequila, or that he had a tequila until I watched the Dave Letterman show on Netflix.
Oh.
And he does like, and he
that's
talks
right.
about it. It's grand.
It's a good show, by the way.
It's grand show.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Why can't I remember her name? Cindy Crawford.
Cindy
Thank you.
Crawford,
Oh my God.
yes.
Cindy Crawford's husband. They're all partners.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to share this around so we can all join and talk about. We have Ghostbusters teaser trailer to talk about. We have Game of Thrones to talk about.
And the Gillette commercial.
And the
guys.
Gillette commercial. I never thought in my wildest imagination that we really need to discuss.
I'm glad we're
a
talking
Gillette
about this
commercial.
because I saw a post yesterday on my feed, and honestly, normally I've got like a pretty like a liberal feed, so usually it's just people like if you're offended by this commercial, then then you're part of the problem.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, all that.
You know what I'm talking about. And anyway, so this guy, he posted, and I think it was like he just said something like screw you Gillette or something like that, and he posted this other video that was basically like trashing Gillette and whatever it did, and everybody started commenting on it. Of course, you get all the women that are getting in there being like, like you're part of the problem if you don't like this commercial. But then at the very end of the thread, which wasn't very long, it was like maybe 20 comments, I saw at the end that the guy who originally posted it hadn't even watched the Gillette commercial.
Fucking incredible.
He had just immediately gotten offended, like it didn't even matter what it was about or if he'd seen it, and he just decided to hop on the bandwagon of I don't like this. Which, and this is a guy, by the way, that I've been friends with like for a very, very long time, and so it was kind of surprising.
Crazy.
It was very surprising. So this is like kind of bringing out like the weirdness in people, and I don't know why, because if you watch the Gillette commercial, it's fine.
A beautiful commercial too. It's very well shot. It's very well acted.
It's not offensive in any way. It's basically.
I want to say hi to Rod. Hi, Rod. He says hi, friends.
It was basically, this commercial was. It wasn't even like addressing toxic masculinity, even, which is a phrase that's also very controversial.
Yeah, that's right. They never actually say that. They just say like, "Men, be better." Like that's literally it. Like that's the whole
let's
commercial.
all be better. It's not like singling anyone out. It's like let's just be better. And then
and it's also dudes saying it to dudes.
Yes,
which is the only way it can be done.
And the visualization was like, okay, stop your kids from beating up on other kids. Like basically, and it didn't blame one kid or the other. It was just like, stop fighting,
knock it off,
instead of letting them just tussle.
Don't catcall some lady.
Just like
take it down a notch.
Bro, has that ever worked? Kind of thing. Yeah, just like really, honestly, like, do you think they appreciate you doing that?
Yeah.
And I think it was like common sense, just common sense stuff.
And it very beautifully shot. And like men should. Like, is this the best men can get? Like,
really?
Get better. Like,
exactly. And I'm
just
like,
do it.
If you think that it's not.
So that's okay. So my real question to everybody watching, as well to Chris, is: do we feel that people were actually offended by the commercial, or do we think it's that kind of social media thing where like fake accounts are being like, blah 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 blah, I hate it, but nobody really does, and then it just spirals?
I think so. Also, I think that there's a lot of men who take offense to stuff like this because they're the ones who probably are all against feminazis or whatever that they call them, because they think that they're being targeted and they don't understand the whole hashtag not all men thing. Like they just don't get it. They just like,
sorry, I should have shown you this thread that I was like, fuck it. Like I'm like usually I'm not one of those people to like search. I'm like, nope, you pissed me off. So, oh, and then Rod says, caught the middle of your story about your friend, but I love that commercial. It's a beautiful commercial. And thank you, Rod, for being a normal man who loves, like, it's a beautiful
Also,
commercial.
Carl and Marcus, both on YouTube, are both agreeing that people get offended by everything nowadays and that the Gillette ad was great. So,
But it's great. And what's the irony behind it is the people that are getting offended by this ad are the same people who are like, why is everybody getting so offended about stuff? Blah, blah, blah. I want to say what I want. Like,
it's like, well, you know, just like you can say what you want, other people can say what they want, and you don't have to listen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why people get so up in arms about things sometimes, because I'm like, if you don't like it, don't watch it, number one.
Number one.
Also, okay, and this goes back, by the way, and this is why it was like, such a sensitive subject, was this week, okay, the company that I work for like announced something on Facebook, on their Facebook page, right? And it was like an event that everybody was invited to for something that was related to the property but was not the property. So it wasn't a video game, but it was based on the video game property, okay? And literally all of the comments were like, why are you spending money on this when you should be like spending money on fixing this crap in the game? And it's like, okay, first of all, and it was like
two different departments.
Literally two different departments. And also, by the way, like it was a lot of complaints. And I'm sitting there going, and people are just like, this game sucks. Like, why are you on this? Why do you like the page? Number one.
You like the page and
and
you don't
number
like it.
two, like really, like this is what you want to spend your time doing is just bitching about a game you hate on the page? Like, move it along.
Yeah, move
it along.
Move
Like,
along.
I don't understand that kind of mentality.
Well, and just the rage of this commercial is out of control, and like, and it's one of the reasons for y'all that are new to our Nerd Rage show is that we started this because we are very passionate nerds, and we get up in arms about stuff because we love.
So we're the ones who can talk about this.
Yeah, no.
Because we do get up in arms.
We do. We get all like crazy about stuff, but this commercial, because I went through the whole hype train before I actually watched the commercial. So I was expecting something totally different because of how much he's like, blah, 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 blah. And my favorite comment, and like people retweeted it a lot, was somebody who said like, toxic masculinity isn't just about women, it's about the men. Like, men are also hurt by toxic masculinity. That's the whole point of this commercial. There was hardly any women in the commercial.
Yes.
Like, it really, I feel
They know their audience.
like, yeah, and I really feel like they're pinning the problem is that there are a lot of men that also suffer from toxic masculinity. It's not just women. Like, it's a problem for everyone.
Like when you get all these nice guys and they're all upset because, you know, girls are like treating them a certain way, well, like blame that on the other dudes that have treated them like crap for years.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry you're getting lumped into that, but like it needs to change, and everybody agrees it needs to change, and they're trying to help with the change is what they're trying to do, which starts with men. It's not women needing to like recognize the good guy.
Yeah.
It's like
We find you pretty easily, guys.
yeah, we do. It's just that, like, I know personally, and this might not go over really well, but like, all guys I view the same to a certain degree. Like, if I'm walking alone in a garage, if a guy's in there, I'm automatically worried.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I don't know if you're nice. I don't know if you'd never do that. Like, I'm on guard. Like, I'm sorry, but that's how I treat all men because of a few rotten apples who have unfortunately made me feel that way. Okay? Yes. All right?
Like, can't walk alone.
When you say, like, well, not all men are like that, well, it's kind of like, yeah, but that's how we view it until you tell us differently, until you make that massive change where we don't have to feel that way.
Yeah, and
You know?
before we catch up with the comments, like, the thing I was going to say, which tails really well with that, is like, it's not about you.
Yeah, it's not about you at all.
Nice guys, this isn't about you. We need your help, but this isn't about you. And the comment that I was talking about that I joined a feed, which was this girl complaining, and like, not even complaining, mainly making a joke about like the horrible, she just joined some like dating websites, the horrible shit that these guys send her and say to her on these sites. And so she just kind of posted it, and women were like, oh man, am I right? Da, da, da. And this one dude had to go on the not all men rant. And all I did was post this amazing cartoon that's just like, because like a guy starts saying, he's like, hey, not all, and this girl just grabs it like, shh, 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 shh. It's not about you. It's about this, that, this. It's not about you. And then I posted that and said nothing. And this other dude was like, well, if a guy did blah, 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 and like starts commenting on the cartoon. And I knew he didn't actually read it, because if he read it, he'd understand what I was saying. So I just, instead of making any comment, I just posted the cartoon again underneath his comment. And then he never said anything else.
That must have pissed him off so hard.
There's nothing I find yummerier than that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so catching up on some comments, Rod is chatting with us. Rod says, Phil Ranta posted the video and was also wondering why people were disliking and hating the video. I replied there that I know exactly who disliked the ad. It kind of sucks because I could immediately picture specific friends and acquaintances that would dislike the video.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's the hardest.
It is, it's true.
I think between the Trump campaign and everything coming out about Me Too and all of the like racism and bigotry that we're facing in the gay community, all across the board in these last like few years, we're learning a lot of stuff about people that we thought we were close with that we didn't know.
Yeah, and you know, and there's also like two schools of thought on that too. Like you can either be that person that cuts off everyone from your life who, you know, goes that way.
Or tries to educate them.
Or you can be like my family, which is you just don't talk about that when you're together. Because
there's that.
I mean,
I would say there's a third option, like I said, is to try to educate them. Because I did actually I did have an instance with somebody who was raised in a very male toxic household, and he's trying. Like, and like every point of the way, there's like a little something else. And like, but there was one thing I had to just school him aggressively on, which was the trans people. Because I have a lot of friends that are transitioning, or if not trans. And like, I just like went to, because you know me, I'm very usually bubbly and sweet and just smile and be like, it's fine. But I was like, no, we're talking about this. And just like, bleh. And he was like, he actually thanked me for it after, because it changed his perspective.
I used to do that with my grandmother. She was old enough that she was a captive audience. I mean,
yeah.
I was like, you know, taking care of her, and she was a hardcore conservative. I mean, I used to have to watch the O'Reilly Factor with her. Oh my God. Anyway.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know, right? Anyway, I used to talk to her about these things and make her see another point of view. And to her credit, she would see it. Like, she was always like, oh, I never thought of it. Like, you know, that's a very good point. Not all people are like that, though, guys.
No, not at all.
So, you really have to dig in and be prepared. Like, I don't know of anyone who's won a fight on the internet. I'll be honest.
Well,
like,
so,
it's just...
And I'm going to get to the rest of the comments as well.
Have two reasonable people, you know? Sometimes you have to agree to disagree, too, because it doesn't
Here's the thing as well, and this is, I feel, and this is just my, like, 2 cents, of one reason that's exacerbating these issues is because we're discussing them only on the internet. And it makes such a big difference when you can make eye contact with a person, and because the only way to teach these type of people, bigots of any kind, is with personal connection to it. So if I have a friend who I'm already have a personal connection with, and I come to find out they are bigoted in some way, whether it's racism, sexism, you know, all of the isms. But for me to show and be able to see face to face with that person and show what it means to me and tell the specific story, whether it is my own personal thing or somebody personally close to me, and that they can see it and they can actually, like, because there's so much in body language and eye contact and all that kind of stuff that you're missing in internet. And like, when you just can't get that, you just get trolled. And that's a problem on both sides, because like, what I'm writing will come off a certain way because you read it a certain way, versus if I'm saying it to you, there's only one way you can really hear it.
It's true.
I'm saying it that way.
It has to be in person. And honestly, like here, Marcus on Facebook or on YouTube also had a good point where he watched the commercial and he said that he was told, how come there was only like 2 black guys in it? So it's like, you're still finding
it's just issues.
There's always an issue.
Always an issue. Like, that's not.
And Carl said, I'm so tired of people arguing on both sides, because people need to have respect for each other. I'm liberal, but I have conservative friends. We can all get along. Respect other humans. And it's just, yes, be a good human, treat others well. You know, and that's really what people
all we're asking.
Yeah, all we're asking.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and that's what that ad is asking. It's just like, you know, make the world a better place.
Just be better.
Just start when they're young, and let's just start getting rid of all of this negative stuff that people are dealing with now, and we can just make the world a better place.
Yeah.
You know?
Rod also says guys that were offended are most likely because they are against the term toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
But when they saw the examples and it was things they do every day, it was probably triggering. Exactly. Like, and that's the thing, is that a lot of the vernacular has to be very specific of like, we're not saying all masculinity, we're saying toxic masculinity. It's just one of many. There's also a great like tweet that was going around that was like, okay, I don't know why this is a discussion, but let's break it down. Some toads are poisonous. Not all toads are poisonous, but man, those poisonous ones, they're a humdinger. Masculinity isn't toxic, but there are some toxic masculinity, and those toxic masculinity, like, that's, oh boy, that's a humdinger. Like, it's just like...
It's the same thing.
Just separate it out. And then Rod also agrees that social media is uncanny valley of communication. Same reason I'm personally not on dating apps. I'm terrible judge of character in person, let alone through the lens of someone's own ego. LOL. Exactly. Like...
Well, also, it can go both ways. I also think that, like... You know, there are a lot of feminists out there who, you know, go a little bit overboard for my taste. Like, I'll be honest.
So like, there's also something I'm learning about were you part of, we'll talk about the group specifically, but there's a group for women on Facebook that is wonderful, and it's very, like, bringing us together and all that kind of stuff. It's for, like, professionals out here in LA. But there's been some posts recently trying to be like, guys, like, the toxic white feminism has to stop. And I was like, tell me more. What is this new thing?
Yeah.
And that's a big
It is a big thing
in the feminist community.
You know, there is a lot of us feminists, like I consider myself a feminist, who just basically just believes in equality. Like that's what it is. And there's some that are just man haters. Like honest to God.
And that's the same thing as toxic masculinity, is there is toxic feminism. It's just too, like, again, not all feminists.
Yes. Exactly.
Hashtag not all feminists.
You don't see me going on there going, not all women! You know, like, it's like just not a thing.
Not all women! Oh my God, I'm going to start doing that right now. But let's see, before we move on to start talking about awesome nerd stuff, because this was a huge thing. It rocked the entire nation. Like, the entire internet blew the fuck up.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Like, people, like, taking pictures and breaking their Gillette razors.
Like, congrats to Gillette. Because, like, I feel like they probably knew this was going to happen.
And just pushed
sure they did, and they were, like, doing it anyway.
You know what's crazy, though? Because that commercial is so well shot, and you could tell they spent money on it. It looked like it should have been a Super Bowl ad. Can you fucking imagine? Can you even imagine? Is instead of this week them dropping it, if they put it on the flippin' Super Bowl?
Oh, I hope they do play it during the Super Bowl. Now that I think about it. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. You check out. So Rod also said, oh no, I already caught up with Rod.
Carl says it's simple. Don't be a bigot. Don't be a racist.
It's so easy, guys.
It is that simple.
And I mean, honestly, if you do have questions, so a lot of guys, like, because that's the thing I've been seeing online as well, between the Me Too movement and like transgender people becoming much more like in the limelight. It's like, well, I don't know what to say, like blah 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 blah. And it's like, hey, just ask. Like that's all.
There was a really good. Somebody posted something on Twitter that was like a really great difference between sexual harassment and flirtation. And it was really awesome to read because she was like, well, flirtation, like, I enjoy flirting because, you know, when two people, like, are, like, trying to, like, check each other out, and there's, like, a mutual interest, and, like, I'm flattering you, you're flattering me, it's great. That is much different than sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is when one party clearly is not interested and you keep pursuing it. Like, that... There's such a difference because the men who were just like, oh, those Me Too stuff, now I can't even hit on a woman in a bar. Oh my God, like, where's it?
I can't call a girl pretty. And it's like, okay, there are good ways to do it and there are bad ways to do it. And it's just, and at the end of the day, just ask. Like, well, what do I know what to do? Do I call him he, she? What do I call him? Like, if you meet a person and you're not sure of their gender or what they want to identify as, just ask in a nice way. Don't be a dick.
Okay, anyway, we should be talking about...
I know, it's just...
All right, guys.
Anyways,
I want to talk about...
wait, should we... Okay, wait, so let's make sure we caught up with all these comments, and then we're gonna move on to all of our nerd stuff. But Rod Kim also says, would love a parody of the commercial where you two portray the commercial as how the haters perceive it.
We have done commercials, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to do more of those.
And we do. That was fun.
Yeah, we did if you look back on our YouTube, guys, we did a red wine commercial because we were just being silly.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was very funny.
Good times.
All right, so what else happened this week? George says, you mean I can't say hey toots anymore? Like, hey there toots. You know, to me you can, because I know you, George. Like, that's fine, but like...
I feel like maybe she likes being called toots.
You're
You're
like,
fine with that, you know.
And also, we friends. I got you, boo. Like, it's fine. But...
Okay, I want to talk about Ghostbusters.
Okay, let's talk about Ghostbusters. Everybody, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters.
I had really high expectations for that trailer.
I know. Everybody's been talking about the trailer.
It kind of let me down.
So we did record, right before we started the live stream, we did record us watching the Ghostbusters as well as the Game of Thrones new trailer. But the Ghostbusters one, people were going so flippin' bananas that I was sure it had, like, I don't know, at least the actors in it. It doesn't, by the way, if you're wondering. It's an awesome teaser trailer. Honestly, like, I love me a teaser trailer. I love that. We've talked about it many times in the show that we both hate when they show too much of what's happening in it within the trailer. So I love it. It's just, I love how much the internet blew up. Now, where I got mad at the internet blowing up was like, yeah, the real Ghostbusters are back. And I was like,
all right, yeah, that's...
Original Ghostbusters, yes. We can't discount the last Ghostbusters movie. It really was a Ghostbusters movie. That's all I'm going to say on that.
I agree.
Because that could get us in a big hole.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there. I feel like the last movie got too much flack because of the casting versus the actual notes of the movie. Mm-hmm. It was not my favorite Ghostbusters movie. It was not an awesome movie. It was a lot of fun.
It wasn't a piece of trash, though.
No,
for sure.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, those little girls dressed up as Ghostbusters, looking up to the girl. Really,
you have to remember, like, a lot of this is not just for us. It's for a new generation of kids. Like, these movies aren't, you know, I mean, yeah, they want to tap into the fans and everything, but, like, you know, there's little people watching these things. And well,
this isn't
teaser
about you.
Really got me excited because, number one, it started off with the Ghostbusters music, like,
yes,
which was like amazing. I was like, oh, and
I love how. Okay, sorry to like totally jump, but the electric like little sparks. Okay, here's what I loved about those electric sparks. Now, obviously, our technology for doing special effects has greatly improved since the 80s. Mm-hmm. But what I appreciated is that they didn't change the thing too much. Like, it still had the red and green and everything that's kind of like a part of their suits and everything they do. Like, that I appreciate instead of trying to make it look like a totally new and fancy thing.
It's true. Well, and when they zoomed in on the car cover or whatever it was that was like flapping, like, you did get that impression that it was like the ghost, you know, from the library, because it had that same, like, when they were looking for the ghost and had the flowiness, and so it was very reminiscent of that. But then like when it came up and they showed the car, very exciting, yes, because it's the car. But then it ended, and I was like, what is that?
I know. It was a perfect teaser trailer. Now, I'm going to catch up with the comments, and then we're going to discuss how it's going to be the video game.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So
you catch up on yours first.
It says, all right. Everybody wanted more from it, basically.
Yeah.
No one can repeat the original. It was classic. Agreed.
Also agreed.
Yes, and it's like Mike Myers. The old one is better than the new ones. Yes, but I also really love that new Halloween movie. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true. I still need to see that. Also not gonna lie about
really
that.
Good. So I feel like there is like room for this, definitely.
I'm so on board.
I'm on board. Yeah,
I'm very much on board, and it's so funny having like a new Men in Black movie and then a new Ghostbusters movie, and it's coming out in 2020, guys. That's shockingly
the Men in Black
fast.
Thing, I'm on the fence about that one. By the way, somebody commented on that. It was.
We are, yeah. So we did do.
Yeah, but
didn't we do a trailer reaction video to Men in Black?
I don't think we. Did we?
Or we just discussed it. We're both on the same boat of
we're
like.
On the fence.
Okay. Like, I didn't really ask for it, but I did finally watch the third one.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
I know.
Well played. All right, these comments over here. So, George says, can I make a prediction? How much you want to bet they do a CGI ghost Egon for the new movie?
Oh God, I hope not.
I really
hope not. I don't want that.
I can see them doing that, George, but I really don't want that. I want it to be something classy where they do like maybe like at the beginning there's a funeral, or they talk about it at the beginning and then just move forward and like have the moment and have
acknowledge
the respect.
it.
Yeah, acknowledge it, have the respect for him.
Yeah.
I don't know, I really hope not. So Rod said, we were at the first non-embargo screening of the all-female Ghostbusters. It was at YouTube. And most people at the screening, opinionated YouTubers, thought it was fine. A couple people loved it, a couple people hate it, but most people were like, it was fine. Yeah, that's the thing about the latest Ghostbusters movie, the female cast, is that it was good. There was a couple parts that I was dying in the theater. It was so funny.
Agreed. Yeah, and over here, Sheva says that they need Will Smith back in Men in Black, and he heard he might do a cameo.
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors of that as well.
That'll help.
Yeah.
I think that'll help. I'm still on the fence because honestly, it's like the cast from freaking Thor. So I'm like, I can't.
And they're kind of playing the
They're playing
same
themselves.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's like weird. So that's the hump I'm trying to get over, and it's just a trailer, so I'm going to reserve judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but
as much as
anyway.
we love to get passionate and yell
Right.
at stuff, we will hit pause.
I'm going to be fair on that because I like them both.
Yes.
So
now,
we'll
on
see.
the video game side of Ghostbusters, so there was a video game that came out, I don't remember how long ago, but so basically there was supposed to always be a fourth Ghostbusters movie, and I can't remember the exact logistics of why it didn't happen with the original cast, but they basically used the plot in this video game. There's an amazing video game. So I'm curious if they're going to still do that, or if they're going to switch it up because there's already a video game on it.
Right.
Or if because the video game sales went so well, they're like, oh yeah, we could make some money off this movie.
Maybe.
Just like that. That's exactly how all the executives
That's
sound.
how they talk.
That's how they talk.
Yes.
It's true.
And now that we only have 2 minutes left.
Oh my gosh,
we should probably talk about the Game of Thrones trailer.
Oh, well, we need to go a little bit over since we started a little late. It's fine. It's fine. It's
We'll go a
fine. We
minute
love you
over.
guys.
Yeah. But Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. It's coming back in April, March.
Ruth Ann and I are super excited about this. April.
Woo!
So,
Sorry.
here's the thing. Like, Ruth Ann and I love this so much that we were even going to throw a party for it in a castle over here and deck it out and have, like, and try and get the HBO actors to show up and, like, do, like, a whole thing. Like, we legit were on that path.
Yeah.
Because we loved it so much. And we had the connections to do so. And then the cost of it.
Yeah. Because we had an investor in mind. The investor was like,
did.
nope. And we're like, we don't have $1 million.
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah. But anyway, that's how much we love it. That's all I'm saying.
We love the show.
Yes.
We did record our reaction to it, and I'll post it a little after the stream. I don't know, because I don't know the books. I just know that people have told me about the books, and I'm like, are they going to go that way?
They're
are
not.
they not?
I feel like they're not because they've
gone so far.
It's not written yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't been written yet, so it's good.
I am so
but
excited.
but I think the Starks coming together finally, like, which hasn't happened since like season 1. It's going to be great, and I'm very super excited because we don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing. Like, you can predict, but, like, you can't predict.
And also,
because
the
they
internet,
never know.
And the internet is losing their mind because the littlest brother wasn't in the trailer.
Right. It's true.
What's going to happen? I'm so excited. Give me the dragons. Give me all of it. Give me all of it.
And I also heard that every episode is supposed to be like a mini movie. So it's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Every episode, supposedly.
So, hey, Chris, should we start doing, like, an after Game of Thrones, like, little recording that we post?
Ooh.
Because you know we're going to watch it together. If not together, we'll be, like, just texting each other while we're watching it. What do you guys think? Should we do an After Thrones thing? A Geek Chic? I don't know, because we get really excited about this. I'm using my hair as pom-poms. That's how excited. So excited. This margarita was good, everybody. I don't know if you know this.
Okay, so George says, do you think the White Walkers will raise the dead Starks in the crypt?
Okay, I've been really...
I hope so.
I hope so. Honestly,
I hope
as soon as those statues were out and they're talking back and forth to the statues, I'm like, are they gonna come back to life somehow?
God.
Are they gonna get their shit magic?
Well,
They're gonna be like...
Because Mama Stark, whatever her name was,
Mama Stark.
Mama Stark, in the books,
Mama Stark.
she was.
Yeah, she was brought back. So that's why I was like...
Yeah, so it's a very good possibility.
I want
haven't
that
read
to
the
happen.
books. I just know that that's what my mother told me because my mother read the books.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
So Melissa Pepe. Hi, Melissa. We love you.
If you do After Hours, I will watch the series. All right. So
Okay.
We got Melissa on board.
We're gonna do... So should we do it that we, like, record it on Sunday night but don't post it till Monday to give people...
Yes.
Right.
I think that's appropriate.
And it won't be a live thing. We'll do a posted video just for us to start a discussion. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll have to see.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
Well,
figure it
we're
out.
literally brainstorming this on screen, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, but we love you guys. Happy weekends. We're starting con season. Like, stuff is really happening. We missed out. Oh, we didn't even talk about the crazy thing that happened at ALA last weekend.
Oh yeah, the car burning, all of it.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
will post the GoFundMe for this wonderful, wonderful woman. She's a cosplayer. Unfortunately, she had a stalker at Anime Los Angeles last weekend in Ontario, California, that set her car on fire, and total of 7 cars got burned because of it. So it's really awful. She could use some help paying for that because, yay, insurance isn't going to pay for that.
Yeah, she only had liability. She didn't have the whole thing.
Really, really
So,
messed up.
yeah.
So watch the Gillette commercial. Figure your stuff out, guy. And